Hey guys, I'm going to be swapping my stock monkey bars here on my Monkey 125 to some ProTaper, the Adventure Evo High handlebars, just to kind of get myself a little bit less sweep on the handlebars and maybe just a little bit further forward, not much. This is the one I kind of looked at. I looked at handlebars for a few hours, probably over the last, I don't know, week or so total, and the Evo High or the Adventure High bar seem to be pretty close in most of the specs compared to the stock bars without changing a ton. They are a little bit wider, and I'm going to be trimming them a little bit because they do have a lot more space. I'll kind of show you here where the controls will go. And so this area here, the control area is quite a bit longer. So I can cut some off to get them pretty close to the same width. This space here is a little bit wider too though, so I'm not gonna be able to get it all out of there. They are gonna be wider, but I'm gonna do my best to try to get them as close as I can to what I have on there now, just a little less, a little less sweep backwards compared to these here. If you can tell, they got a pretty good sweep on them. So I'm gonna be doing that, and I'm gonna be using the ProTaper universal mounts to mount them on there, since these are a 1 1/8 inch bar down here, a fat bar, and the stock bars are a 7/8, I believe. So I'm gonna be doing that. First thing I'm gonna do here real quick is just pull these bar ends. I've already kind of started. And just so you know, these are a real pain in the butt to get off. And I found some other forums talking about that as well. And I wish I would have looked before I tried. I ended up getting, using a number 3 Phillips in a 3/8 socket, or I'm sorry, 3/8 ratchet to get those off. I could not get them off with a regular Phillips head. And I had even had some vice grips on there, but this ended up popping them loose. I did see there was a trick. Someone said take a hammer and a block of wood or something, like a hard piece of wood like oak, or just like a rubber mallet, and tap the end of this screw before you try to move it out, and that'll help break it loose. They're just really tight. So I'm gonna go and take these off, and then we'll start removing some controls and set the new bars on there and see how they look width-wise. I'm not gonna do much of like an instructional here. I just kind of want to show the difference before and after. So I'll try to get some before video here too real quick. So here's the before, and this is right at head height. So this is kind of what they look like now. You can kind of see they do have some sweep backwards, and they're not bad. I can get my hands on them here pretty easily when I'm setting forwards. I just kind of want them to be just a little more out here, just the fuzz. And honestly, I like the black look better too, the ProTaper instead of the chrome. I'm kind of trying to get rid of some of the chrome, just kind of not my thing. So that's what they look like from the front, or I'm sorry, from the driver's seat here. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Okay, so this is kind of a comparison before I mount them up. So this isn't all the way down, it's really close. You can see probably about, I don't know, 3/8 of an inch further, further down, and those would be lined up pretty close. So you can see the ProTapers are a little longer. Now I did just measure, and I think I can cut about 1 inch off of these right to the last inch mark on the bar and make the controls fit just about perfect without keeping I don't want to get my brake mounts down here on the curved part. I want them to be on the flats. Maybe I might do the 3/4 just to be safe, but they look like they're going to work pretty good after I kind of mocked them up real quick. And then kind of show you the sweep. Not a huge difference, but just enough to bring your hands forward a little bit. Pretty close there though as well. And I will also say, these are the universal mounts I got, and I did pick these up on eBay because I found them a little cheaper. Some guy had used or bought them and not used them. The bolt is a little longer, so I had to get some extra washers here. I just did some stainless steel washers because there was a little bit of the bolt taper sticking through, and I was worried I wouldn't be able to get it all the way tight. Okay, I'm just going to pause the video real quick here so I can mention this. I did use these stainless steel washers here on the shoulder bolt, and I think I really only needed about 2 of them. If you're not comfortable doing that with the washers, you don't feel like it's safe, you can also use the option from ProTaper, which is a universal mount that goes on top of your existing handlebar mounts, or handlebar clamps. I will show those here in this picture, so you can use those as well, and you don't have to remove your old handlebar clamps. And you don't have to get these super tight, I don't believe. I think the torque spec's pretty low on them, just enough where you kind of squishing the rubber a little bit. And I just wanted to make sure you guys knew this. This nut is really hard to tighten on this side. The other one is not easy either. The other mount, the factory mount has a much smaller bolt on it. A bolt and nut. So you can get a socket in here almost. Somewhat, it's still kind of a pain in the butt, but I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to tighten this down a little bit more without just holding this with a wrench and spinning it up here, because I can't get a wrench in here and I can't get a socket on here. You just don't have any room. So you might keep that in mind if you go with these ProTaper universal mounts. I'm not sure if they're all the same. I think they only sell one kind like this, so I think they're all going to be like that. But I'm going to go and continue the installation, and we'll get some stuff here afterwards and show you what it looks like. Also worth noting, these are offset. If you can see, it's kind of hard to tell. I've got the offset back a little bit. I didn't want the bars to be too far away, so I think it's only a few millimeters one way or the other, but just make sure they're the same if you use these mounts. Just to kind of show you what I'm doing here as we're going also, I just got my controls kind of mocked up where I wanted them, and then tightened the screws down on the controls. And then you can see it left a little divot where the pin is, where you have to drill your hole in the bar. Some people just grind the pin off of the control piece, but I'm gonna actually go ahead and drill a hole here, just so they stay where they're supposed to. And I'm doing that on both sides. All right, got them all installed. Was kind of a pain in the butt, I will be honest. It wasn't as fast as I thought it was gonna go, which doesn't surprise me for most of my projects. But man, they look really good. I haven't ridden it yet, but I got them all mounted up, everything tightened up. I have them about right where the old bars are at, pretty close. I'll give you a little view here from the front. So I got the garage lights on, we got some moths flying around. And then from the side here, and I'll get one from on top of the bike. So it's about from my head view here. You can see they are just a little bit wider, but not much. I mean, I'm probably maybe 3/4 of an inch to an inch wider on each side. So not a huge difference. Everything looks like it fits pretty good. I actually cut 3/4 of an inch off of each side from the factory length. And I just used some tubing cutters for that, like you cut copper or aluminum pipe. Just use those to cut it really easily. Turned out really nice. And you can see the mirrors and the levers are right just before the curve starts, so it's just about perfect. Nothing's tilted or wonky. I did this side, this fits pretty good, but the brake line is a little tighter than it was. It's not like piano wire tight, but there's a little holder down here too. I could probably pop it out of if it was a problem, but I think it's fine. Doesn't seem like it's pulling it too hard. All my other cables have plenty of room to move. Nothing's tight. So, because they are just out a little bit wider, maybe an inch or so on each side than they were. Other than that though, I think I'm gonna like to be able to see around myself a little better in the mirrors, because they're a little further out to the left and right than they were before. But man, they look good and I'm really happy with them. So only thing left to do is take a ride, and I'll do that real quick and then let you know how that goes. Okay, well, got back from my ride. Feels great. Everything feels good. No vibration in the bars or anything. I was a little worried about that. I wasn't sure if they would have more vibration than the stock bars do. They feel pretty much identical. I do, like I said, like the mirrors out there a little bit further. That's nice. And it's not too wide. I mean, it's not much wider than they were before. but they really look good and I like them, and I'm happy with this. Even though it was kind of a pain in the butt, would I do it again? Yeah, I would do it again for sure. So I hope this helps some people. Like I said, this is as close as I could get with ProTaper, I think, to the factory size bars, and just the sweep and everything. You know, just giving you just a little bit more sweep forward than the old ones did, so you're not kind of so tucked back. And they're almost exactly the same height as they were before. So I measured down from this top nut here on the forks up to the top of the bars, and it was right at 7 inches on the old bars, and it's like 7 1/8 on these bars. So just a tiny bit more clearance. And I hope this video was helpful for some of you guys that are looking at maybe doing some bars on your monkey. And don't forget to leave a like if this was a helpful video for you guys. Oh, and before I forget, 8mm, 10mm. You'll need a Phillips head to remove the controls, and you'll need a 3/16 drill bit to drill the hole for your control pin that's on the back of the controls here that I showed you earlier where to mark it. And then these ProTaper universal mounts, that's a 3/4 inch nut down here, so that's what you need there as well.
Built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah.